Hi there, it's Debo again. We're talking today about our opera house and mall. It's a multi-function structure, actually. It's a very large cylinder, which is cantilevered out over traffic. This is not the first iteration of the opera house, and it certainly won't be the last. There's a lot of work that needs to be done still, but this is just me roughing in the general structure so that over time now I can refine it and perfect it. Well, at least to what my standards are, whatever those may be. But you can see here how it sits just a good, dangerous looking amount out over the city there. It's actually 4 studs back from being like halfway out over the crowd. But that's achieved through the weight of the structure itself. Here on the first and second floors, we can take a look at the mall. Over here on the left, and loving Cleopatra is what's going on in the opera house, but we'll get more to that production here in a moment. Over here you can see the pretzel girl is running the bakery, and it looks like she's also got help from the birthday cake guy there. There are quite a few cakes in here to select from. A number of pastries, pretzels, croissants. I don't know. No, we've got baguettes in there. We have baguette. Yeah. So once the lighting actually gets installed here, it's going to be power functions lighting that I'm going to have to get through Lego education, because Lego.com limits you to 5 a year, and as large as my city is, I need at least 20 more to be able to show off the buildings properly. But you can kind of see the cakes through the door there. Just your standard Lego cakes. I haven't made any cakes of my own, really. Over here on the, I guess you call it general foods side, you can see there's an entire wall there of produce. I'm inserting stills here because they kind of show the light a little bit better, sometimes not, but I just kind of really want to give you a good idea of what's going on in there. There's also cereal boxes in the back, there's pumpkins, there's turkey display. There's even like honey in there. Up here on this second floor, we've got a diamond store, just because I've got so many diamonds and I've had that stickered brick for so long that it really needed to come to fruition. You can see there the stairway leading up to the second floor. It kind of splits off left and right at the bottom, and then it comes together up the top of the center, and then the stairs go up to the opera house. Here is the pet store. We have fish, we've got owls, we've got snakes, we've got ants, we've got frogs. There's quite a bit going on in there. Over here in the toy section, we've got larger scale doll figures in the back. We've got micro scale figures there in the front. And just little action figures and toys, and there's a teddy bear in there and some balloons. And I really I'm going to be reworking the colors in this over time and trying to get everything to work together more harmoniously. But that's a project I've made for myself, and I'm going to have to live with it. You can see here, there's that extra little walkway in the front along the windows, which leads up to that little staircase that goes into the opera house proper. And here is the stage production of Loving Cleopatra. Apparently lyrics and music are by Faith No More. That's the word we're getting on this. I've reached out to Faith No More, and they have declined to comment. Here is, you can see Cleopatra front and center there. We've got Caesar, we've got Hades, King Tut is there in the back row. We have another Egyptian warrior or two. We've got these large statues, which are cribbed from Indiana Jones. We've got a snake charmer. We have a giraffe trying to find a seat in general admission. And I just counted this out not too long ago, and I think we've got 59 seats here on this first floor of the opera house. This is made mostly as minifigure storage. I had to figure out a good way to throw a lot of people in one building and a decent display, something that looked good and would show them all off. So that's why the Opera House. We can see that everybody is just getting in there. There's actually one row that still needs to be filled up, but you can see we got three. There might be 3 or more versions of Emmett in here. We've got figures from Monkey Kid, figures from Hidden Side, collectible minifigures. Most of the folks there's Cardio Carey, yay, sitting next to Ernie Prang and the mayor. We've got I don't know how many times I'm gonna say we've got during this thing. We'll keep a counter, maybe. Who knows? No, that's too much work. Anyway, you can see the rows are kind of terraced a little bit to allow for optimum viewing by the audience members there. I don't know why that guy was allowed to bring an axe in. Probably just because it's rubber tipped, but this is a strange cast of characters are coming in here and finding day in and day out to check out this production, and they're diehard fans, and they're a little bit kooky, and you know what? That's okay. Cran Girl's waiting to get her seat there, as is Marge Simpson. You know, the more difficult to see around characters are still trying to figure out what they're going to do here. There's a little closer look in the back at the other figures we got going on here. And you can see like the tile work around the edges here is blue and black. It's still, everything is just kind of roughed in. So I'm going to keep refining this over the years to come, because I like the general shape of the thing. So we're going to see what we can do to preserve that and just make it a lot more proper looking. But here's the real bit of it right here. This is why this thing exists at all. And it's these railroad ties that I have going around here. It's 8 per ring, and they're not your standard gauge railroad. They're a little bit smaller. The first ones I got were in the Alien Mothership from the Alien Conquest line. And then I was on Bricklink, and this, I usually go for large pieces that are like dirt cheap, that I can get in large quantity. And so I got the black railroad ties that are used in the back of the stands a long time ago. And then they came out with these, is it medium azure ones? Or is it what? No, that's medium azure. They came out with those not too long ago, so I ended up getting a couple rings of those so I could put... for the longest time, the Opera House wasn't closed in on the front. Now it's a complete cylinder, which necessitated putting the mall underneath to lift it up a little bit off and over the road, so that I could actually have a road going through there. At one point, the entire thing, its footprint was 4 base plates. Now I got it down to 2 base plates. But you can see most of the figures that are up here on top are the ones that can't sit too well, so they got skirts, or they got a lot of accoutrements that prevent them from sitting properly in a seat in the general admission section. How they get up here is all sheer imagination. You can see over on the left and the right around there I had transclear panels, which function as kind of like a turbo lift, something like that. Anyway, here's a roof made with a lot of dimensions plates, because they allow a lot of light through, plus they cover a large area and are relatively sturdy. So I've kind of beefed that up a little bit. I kind of like the design on it. It's, you know, like everything in town, it'll be reworked. But yeah, here it is from the outside. You can see it's hanging out pretty far over the road there, but the entire front is very much lighter than the back. I don't have the railroad bits going around the entire thing. In the front, just 3 rings, one at the center and one at the top and the bottom. And in the back, behind all those figures, that's sheer brick. So that's carrying a lot of weight there. Here's a top-down look. You can see the entire thing assembled. You can also even see a little glimpse of the stairs leading back down into the mall. Thanks for checking it out. I hope you enjoyed it. It's going to change, and I'll keep you updated on that when it happens.